Hey everybody, Fishman here. Welcome to the video. All these parts here are going to combine into, well, the next stage for the powered underbarrel filter. I want to add a high humidity planter to the top of it, and all these are going to combine and become the tray for it. A lot of decisions went into making this. That's why this took a little while. I wasn't entirely sure how deep to make it. As you can see, I've gone with 3 inches. And the reason for that is there's going to be a fair amount more flow going through this. It is being powered by that pump instead of air, and, well, it does flow quite a bit more. There are a few stages as we get near the end of this that I'm not going to do today, but I'll give you the reasons for that as we progress. So this is a simple matter of building a box. Every filter seems to come to that. So yeah, I'm going to put on the back here. You'll notice that the other piece that's going to go on the front, which you can see just behind my left hand there, it is shallower. Normally when I've made high humidity planters in the past, I have just made them the same and then just a whole pile of holes. And I've been finding that in the long run, like we're talking 2-3 years kind of thing, they start getting really quite plugged up with plants. And that's fine in some aspects because I do like to have a lot of plants in these things. I mean, that's the whole point of them. The plants do obviously provide a great deal of biological filtration for the aquariums that they're on. But they unfortunately interfere with the flow sometimes. And I want to try this new design to avoid that. I think if this works out, which I'll not know for a while, I will probably start adjusting the high humidity planters for the air ones as well, because again, it's not really crucial initially. I do want a fair amount of flow, but again, this is long term. I am trying to avoid trying to have to clean these things too often, which sounds kind of silly when you are talking about 2 years before you need to actually start cleaning these things. But I have noticed that once they are at that mature stage, they do need to be cleaned a little bit more often. Again, it's not like every week or something, more along the lines of every 6 months to a year. And, well, it's, again, I mean, this is just me trying to make things as efficient as possible. So this lip you see here, this is now 2 inches. So it is a full inch below where the rest of it's going to hang. So I don't have to worry about water building up or backing up and going over the sides or anything. And also, because this is a full lip all the way across, it will be able to, hopefully allow a fair amount of flow without, again, like I said, plugging up in a couple of years or whatever. Again, I don't know for sure. I have never built a high humidity planter for a water pump. They've all been run by, to this point, by air. I did make a little rainforest project years ago now, which had a lot of water flowing straight down from above, so it rained down through one of these. I didn't find that worked very well. It tended to, pretty much just beat down the plants I put in there, so that didn't work out very well. This is not going to have that sort of effect, hopefully. I'm going to, you'll see in a few minutes there, the pipe is going to come up through that center hole, and it's just going to spray laterally into this whole thing. So there you go. This is the box. Now, to keep this, to keep the flow where I want it to, and to give it a little bit more rigidity, I'm just going to add this to the top here. It is a 1/2 inch piece, so it's going to give me a nice 1/2 inch gap where the water's going to come out, and that's way more than enough. It is perfectly fine. Mostly I think this is just going to end up being aesthetic. It will, again, like I said, keep too many roots and leaves from creeping out a bit, maybe. We'll see. And then, again, it just adds a little bit more rigidity. If you ever built anything out of acrylic, in time it has this habit of warping and changing its shape. So this will, again, hold the sides in a bit better. And that's a simple matter of just tacking that on. And what I'm going to do then is that pipe you see, that's a rigid piece of acrylic, and it is going to be, the center pipe, because there's going to be, if you remember from all the other high humidity planters I've made, there's going to be a small bit of gravel. There's not going to be a whole lot. Well, it's going to be more than a half inch. I suspect it's going to be more along the lines of an inch. So that'll give me a nice inch above that, which of course is going to be mosses and ferns and all that sort of stuff in there as well. I find they grow really quite well in this environment, and it does exactly what I want it to do, which is, again, filter the water. So there you go. That's the box. So I'm going to put the internal section on there after, well, there's one part that I'm not going to show you, it's simply because there's no real need to. This house, it has to have a cap. That cap is just going to fit right on top. It's going to slide on the inside, and it's going to have, well, these brackets are just going to hold it in place. It's going to slide down, and it's going to rest on that. And this is, again, another half inch. A lot of the stuff you'll realize is not terribly important as far as getting things to flow properly. Most of this is just positioning. What I was doing right there at that point in time was thinking how far back to put this. And again, just simply used one of the other brackets as a guide. It's not important. These are just holding things in place. I just wanted to make sure that they weren't interfering with the flow of the water going through this. Probably not even remotely necessary. It's like I said, that's an awful lot of front spot there for that to kind of overflow into the aquarium. Now, the other thing I might do in time is put a lip on the front of this so it moves the water away from the side of this, so it has a drop to go through before it goes in the tank, just to get a little bit more turnover. But we'll have to wait until this runs. So that's another thing when you start building filters and you build new ones, especially ones you haven't done before like this. I'm not entirely sure of how much the flow is going to be, how well it's going to flow out over this and into the aquarium. So until I plug it in and turn it on, I won't know. So that's another thing that I go through whenever I make these things, is trying to well, feed off of some of the stuff I've done before, but also, of course, allow for things that might need to be changed. And you see right at the top there, right in the middle, there's a little, you can see where the bracket is. I am going to add a little piece in there. I haven't done that yet. Again, it is there strictly to hold that quarter-inch piece of acrylic from warping, because it will in time. So this is the standpipe that I mentioned. I'm just going to center it over here, and it allows me to put, obviously, the gravel all in this and not have it go down through the hole. That's all it's for. I do this for the box filters and all the high humidity planters, and it's just pretty much just standard now in all of them. So one other thing I don't know yet exactly, because I've already built the filter itself, the underground filter, which is now running and doing really quite well, by the way. I'm not sure how this is going to fit exactly on top of it and bracket with the aquarium. So these are not going on today. These are going to be the side brackets, which are going to hold it in position on the aquarium itself. And this is going to obviously slide down there. And this is the other thing that doesn't, well, I don't know yet for sure until I actually plug this in and try it. This is going to come off the pump. And what it is on the lathe, I machined that so it'll fit down through this hole. And this is going to fit on top. You notice I've drilled some holes. That's just random. I wanted to obviously have something to try to start, and that's where I decided to start this project, have it where it's going to flow. I have to put this on the aquarium. I'm not sure how much of this I'm going to show you guys, but if you're interested in all the little niddly, trying different flows out and stuff like that and getting what I want, just leave comments and let me know about it, and there you go. So the next step for this is going to put the cap on it. Well, actually, the cap's just going to show up. And what I need to do, of course, is make all those adjustments. So let me know in the comments, like I said, what aspects of this you want to see. Because, like I said, I was going to plug it in and use some clamps on the side of the tank just to hold everything roughly in place. Flow some water through this. The major issue is going to be how big and how many holes to make in the top there. I do want it to obviously go out a little bit and not just drip down through the bit of a sleeve gap that you see there. So I need to make all those adjustments, and that'll all be in the next video. So like I said, leave comments, let me know what you think of all this, and I will see you in the next video, and bye for now.